Hey, it's Silver Dollar.
What up? It's White.
Oh, all right, we're back again for a little quick talk about the new Deca stuff. So Deca had a AMA, Ask Me Anything, on Reddit last week, and about 100 questions came in, and they just posted the answers a few hours ago from when we're recording this video. And we just wanted to do a quick little run through of the questions that they picked. They picked 10 questions to answer, and we just wanted to kind of do our thoughts on the responses. All right, so the first question was, how did you come up with the name Deca Games? We were kind of both laughing at this question because of 100 questions. This was kind of a weird one to pick and to start out with.
It was kind of like they have a weird expectation for their games. It was just different for me, at least. And 10 times difference over 10 years. It's a weird expectation to have on a game. Any game.
Yeah, like they got that's a really low bar. I think, you should be looking for like 10 times difference over a much smaller period of time, maybe. Like how old's Realm now?
Exactly. And plus, yeah, Realm's probably like 5+ years right now. At least 5 years that it's been out. I don't know. Kind of a weird question, but that's okay. At least they're giving us some input.
Yeah, we'll give them a pass. We'll give them a pass on the first question. All right, so second question, where did you first find out about RotMG? Did you play it before you took it on?
Yeah, so that's where they kind of explain where they kind of worked for Kabam before Deca Games. And looks like they've been playing it a little bit, but not like to a like any type of decent level like average player maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and the thing like that struck me about this question a little bit too was like I just feel like anyone that worked at Kabam, like they of all the games they own, Realm's probably up there as like one of the better ones anyways, right? So,
For non-app games like for your phone.
yeah, that's like a weird one. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Okay, third question. How much do you know about the game, and do you play it for fun, or will you just be running it? So that's sort of like the last question a little bit too.
They say that they were playing it and that they read some stuff and guides. Say they're on an average level.
Are they like joking when they say we've probably read every post on the forum?
I think they're talking about like how to play the game type, like those type of posts, but I could be wrong.
And most guides, yeah. There's like a lot out there, so. But I guess if you just kind of browsed around Realm Eye or
Plus
something.
the game's pretty much changed since it was first released, and there were so many guides that have probably evolved since the release of the game because of all the things that were implemented since
Yeah, like
then.
pre-pets, pre-shatters. There's a lot of guides for that. So
Yeah,
the effort's there, I guess. It sounds like it is. So that's good.
they're trying. They're trying. I can dig that. They're trying.
A for effort. All right, next question. What is your favorite UT in the game?
You know, I want to say that I'm a fan of this answer, not gonna lie.
Boo, boo, Ninja.
I mean, ninjas are cool. They even say it themselves, they're ninjas. And the ninjas are cool, dude.
Yeah, the ninja has so much potential. It's like, and it's such a weird class that doesn't really fit in with all the others. So I guess it's okay.
Yeah,
Maybe there's hope. There's hope for the ninja, and hopefully the ninja's dungeon too.
I feel like not a lot of people care for that answer. They're like, what? Out of all characters, you're gonna pick like a ninja?
Yeah,
I don't
and
know, man.
they don't pick one UT either. It's a cop out.
Yeah, they didn't even pick. They didn't even pick one UT. You're right.
Yeah, we need another
The
AMA just on this question.
heck?
Next question. Will you reopen the testing realm and reactivate the closed testing team to keep working with them? So I was pretty interested in this one because I am in testing, or I was in closed testing. So I thought this was kind of cool because I think I initially interpreted their first post as being, that there wasn't going to be testing, or they weren't sure what they were doing. So that seemed kind of cool.
And they said that they're trying out. They're saying there's gonna be in-game moderators. That kind of makes me a little excited because I don't think we've ever seen like anything like that in Rome. Just like admins, the occasional admin showing up and then banning people randomly.
Yeah, even if there was just like one moderator, I definitely think it would make a difference. Cause
Maybe like a moderator per server or something like that. That'd be
yeah,
kind of cool.
yeah. There's a lot. Like there's just a lot of shit in Realm. A lot of shitty people.
Like one moderator per server has a big plate and he can get so much done.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No, for sure. They should take those guys that were on the Realm forums and, like, I don't, it sounds like they're not going to use them anymore and maybe shift them over to, like, in-game moderation or something.
That's
That'd be
true.
kind of
That'd be.
cool.
I think they'd like that way better.
Yeah, and they seem like pretty responsible fellows. They were pretty hardcore about the forums. Another thing that jumped out at me on this answer was they did mention about two things that they thought were underutilized, so arena and guilds. And yeah, like I always forget about the arena, so that would be kind of cool if they brought that back.
It'd be cool if they brought something to like guilds or even utilizing the guild hall like a lot more. Like maybe like certain events that could take place inside of a guild hall that you can do with your guildies or something like that. Because honestly, I don't go into the guild hall unless you're kicking someone or you're demoting or even just hosting like a small dungeon for your friends, which I don't know. Who wants to spend a ton of money on keys to host for your guildies?
Yeah, it's true though. It's totally like you never really use it, and it's such a cool aspect of the game where there's a lot of potential there. Okay, next question. What will you do about multi-boxers, hackers, notifiers, and spam bots?
I think they're going the right way with taking this one as their top priority. I think going back to one of those other questions and seeing in-game moderators, I don't know exactly what kind of power they plan on like giving those types of people, but I think you'd see a lot less multi-boxers if that would even take place.
Yeah, for sure. Like in-game mod would definitely be a good step towards like cracking down on stuff. And I think that gets around a lot of like the technical
You guys playing Shattered,
limitations.
guys? Oh.
Get
No.
out.
We're recording.
Ruined.
God damn it. We got to start all over again. Yeah, having in-game mods would sort of help with some of the technical limits they probably face on stopping like the hacking. Like I think there's certain hacks that they're just going to have problems really dealing with like with code. But at least if you have mods, that sort of helps fill in some of the gaps, I
Yeah,
think.
as long as there's like somebody like moderating the realms in each server or something like that, one mod per server, like I said, uh, they could at least filter out a lot of the multi-boxers.
Yeah, and it's like an epidemic right now.
That's another thing, like someone who's played the game for a really long time, they're just used to it, so they just have like all their chats off or whatever. Don't even see it, but like I could totally feel for like a newer player, like just seeing all that spam, it just like pushes them away. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, it makes the game kind of look like amateur hour or whatever.
That's where you come in, Deca.
No pressure. Next question. With Flash fading away quickly, what are you going to do with the game? Are you contemplating moving it to a new platform?
I like this question
yeah.
because Flash isn't really like a good platform to be on anymore, and looks like they're going to be eventually trying it. I don't know how soon. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I don't feel like it's gonna be anytime soon. But it's good to know that they plan on moving away from it. It seems
Yeah,
like.
I mean, this is probably on there. They mentioned like the 10-year plan at the top or whatever. 10 times in 10 years.
Yeah.
This is like in the 10th year type thing. Or it would take a long time, I would think. That would be such a huge undertaking. Oh, and they mentioned like doing a Kickstarter, like funding campaign for it. So it would obviously be very expensive, I guess, as well. Or like beyond what their investment currently would.
Yeah, definitely. Really looking forward to seeing this in the next 80 years.
Next question. How do you feel about the Realm community? How much do you know about us? And are you in favor of player-created content? Yeah, I mean, their answer on this was like, I feel like this has sort of been their general theme with a lot of their stuff so far. Is like they're definitely into the community. They recognize there's a good community. They're trying to listen and read everything and blah blah blah.
I like the part where it's like, as for player generated content, 3 words, we'd love it. So I mean, at least there's hope there. We can see a lot more player based content or player submitted content. So I'm always in, because they used to go crazy on the. I think there used to be a lot of Reddit posts where people would make their own dungeons, and none of them got implemented. And there was some really good ones in there, especially from one man. I can't remember his name, but it was just like so many, and none of them got implemented. And Kabam kind of gave us false hope with player submitted dungeons.
Yeah, and I think for a long time they've been sort of dangling that along, like pretending like, oh, there's a chance we'll make a dungeon, and then everyone kind of got really committed to making stuff, and then it just never actually got, like until the Shatters, but that was like only one dungeon. So yeah, hopefully they really like commit to that. But I think partly this guy Sil. How do you say his name?
Silex, maybe?
Silix?
I'm gonna
Sil
call him
3X?
Silex.
I don't know. I massacre everyone's names, so.
Okay.
But I think like he's probably just realizing like, oh my god, this is so much work. So whatever help I can get is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it definitely seems like when whoever wrote this, they were definitely giving like a generalized idea of every, like, for the answer of every question. Like nothing was set in stone except for maybe a few of these questions.
Yeah, it's probably like too early to really commit to anything too concrete, but I guess it's good they're like already thinking about it. Because honestly, I thought we weren't gonna hear anything for a few months. Like, they told us they're gonna buy
I'm
it on the
just glad
15th, and then
I'm
I thought it was gonna be like radio silence.
I'm just glad that they're not 100% with each answer yet. Like they're not set in stone so early of what they're gonna do. They're actually thinking of what other things they could do midway or something like that. They're still thinking, and I'm
Yeah,
glad.
open-minded. That's good. That's a very good quality. Good quality in a company that comes and buys your old game.
I like to see.
Well, that's it for the questions and the answers and what we think about them. Hopefully, they're going to move the forums over to Reddit, so I think we'll be seeing a lot more from Deca Games on there. Long story short, come back to Realm, get playing, get everyone back into it, and let's make Realm great again.
Donald Trump.
SLVRDLLR.
Goodbye.